right there, you took my breath away. A young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover, a hopeless lover, hopeless lover.
Good evening.
Throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed on me? I thought, what age are we? It's warm outside, and we all want shine. Bet you nobody in the city could stay in the crib this time. Got pics on the way like a vacay. Shoot photo with an AK. Got friends by my side, trying to have a good day. And I water why they go chase. Yeah, but it's all on me. Let them roam free like a European. Yeah, see me pick up the phone like I'm trying to haul a home stone. I act like easy. Yeah, rock them shades, not against me. Trying to run away, but I'm not speedy. Need no fake, I just want what's real. And I ride that wave till I'm free. Straight on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Don't rage. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed of me? I thought, what age are we? What age? Trying to throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me?
Hey! Good evening, Julie Brooks, Tom Vlogs, George Connolly, Susie Mark, Fantastic Adventure, Leslie Barlow, Greg, Liam McNeil, Roger Madeline, family on tour. Yes, the Formula One was great today. Ian McDonald, Emery Brown, Teresa Kelvin Forster just on tour. Ian McCollum, rolling with the Robinson, the nearly at 1,000 subscribers. Go and give them a subscribe and get them over the line. Lindsay McConnelly, Lee, Steve Hill, Jay Goldridge, Lee Bateson, Terry the Ted. Oh, that's what we have there, Shade.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling all right. Why?
Bit superhuman, maybe?
I probably am. Do you know what? I'm proud to be British.
Why is that?
Proud. I've had my jab today.
Oh. How was that?
I don't know. I never felt it. I said to her, I don't like needles. I'll look away. Let me know when it's done. And she said, it's done. I went, you're joking. What I'm proud about was the organisation. Volunteers doing it. You go in there. I was longer in the queue than I was inside getting the jab. And they're there with the computers as well, making sure everything's done. Proud to be British.
Well, did you even have anybody in front of you at the queue?
Well, yeah, because I was in the queue.
That you had to wait for?
Well, yeah. The idea of a queue is you stand in a queue and you stand behind somebody else.
Oh, all right. I went straight to the front. It was great.
Ah. No. There was a queue, mate. There's about half a dozen people in front of me.
Okay. That's not too many still.
Yeah, I was just proud. Shade, do you know what? It was just over a year ago this week that Boris made his first announcement, mate, when we went into lockdown.
I know. Scary, isn't it? To think. I think the scary part about it is how normal it now feels.
Yes, you're right there, mate. Because it's like here we go. It's like tonight, just done the kids' tests, which we do Sundays and Wednesdays. It's all normal. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's how normal everything feels now. I mean, I'm going to be honest. When it first all kicked off, I did poo my pants a little bit. It was like, holy, what is going on? I didn't know. Just completely unknown, isn't it? Shane,
we sat there, mate. We've come a long way together over this last year, haven't we? Let's be honest.
Yes.
We sat there in long lockdown, chatting to one another and thought, have we got a business when we come out of it? Now, we're lucky boys. There's a lot of people who've really struggled, mate.
Yeah.
But we didn't just sit there, did we? We've done. Look what we've achieved, mate. We've done these shows.
Yep.
How many have we done now? 33, 34?
I've no idea. I'll probably say 33, 34. Because that's what you just said.
We got busy, mate, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still a lot of dealers, companies, whatever you want, what you want to say, still sat there twiddling the thumbs, waiting for it to go again.
Yeah.
And as you can see by my very weathered appearance, it's the busiest I've ever been.
We've got a year and a half, Shane. We've got a year and a half, mate, to take advantage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got a mad show tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, please, if you've not subscribed to the Motorhome and Caravan Show YouTube channel, please subscribe to it. I think we're nearly at 1,000 subscribers, mate, aren't we?
Yes.
So if you are watching it on my channel, the Motorhome Man, please move over to the Motorhome and Caravan Show and subscribe. And do you know what? I want some news, Shane.
You want some news?
I want some news.
I think I know the man for that. By the way, we've got 27 subscribers to get to 1,000 on the show channel.
Yeah. John, can we have some news, please?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Look what that job's done to me. It's changed me from Jason to me.
I know. You know what made me laugh? I was watching that intro earlier, and this was very much pre-comb over for Jason. How nice and trim everybody's hair was. He looked 10 years younger, didn't he? Now he's gone a bit.
He's gone, yeah. Doesn't say much for that job, does it?
I know. Yeah.
I am here, you know.
Oh, he's still here.
I am here.
Didn't think he was listening. So we've got some news, haven't we?
What we got then?
I think one of the big ones at the minute is obviously campsites in Wales are all open and going and running and going back to normal, and we're not far behind, are we? But
No.
then
I've got to admit, I've seen a lot of posts on the Facebook forums and stuff like that of people away in the caravans and motorhomes, which is great.
yeah, obviously we in England we can't yet, can we? But it's not long. It's not far to go now before we can get
2
on.
weeks, 2 weeks tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's going to be mad out there, isn't it? It is going to be absolutely crazy.
It is.
One of the things that you can do is what's scrolling at the bottom at the minute, motorhomeholidaycompany.com. They're doing a website for campsite alerts. So if you're looking for campsites and you can't find anything, you can go on there, you can subscribe to it basically, and they'll send you weekly alerts of campsites that are available, places that are available. So if you're struggling, that's a good little site just to find information. Next one, we've got Westphalia with their VW. It's over the past 6 decades they've sold more than 400,000 of the little camper conversions basically, which is pretty much where I think all the VW little conversions started from, isn't it? That's what kicked it off.
I mean, if you've ever heard of, obviously you've got the VW California, which is the VW version. Then you've got the Mercedes Marco Polo, which is a Mercedes factory-built thing, but that's actually done by Westphalia as well.
Right, yeah.
So if you have a look at that, I think we probably get more inquiries on the old stuff than we do the new stuff.
The new stuff.
Which has just been around for decades.
And yet 5 years ago we'd have looked at the VW conversions, etc., and gone, oh, they're not really going to be. They're not going to do well. Nobody's really interested in those. And look at the market that they take now.
Well, I'm just going to scroll across on the news. Sorry, John. Irwin Heim are up 20% on sales for 2020, but 45% up on camper vans.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it, really?
That shows where the market swing's going.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody told me the other day that the Auto Trail van conversions are now the better sellers over the motorhomes.
I can well believe that. Yeah. It's funny, like I say, 5 years ago we looked at them and sort of went, what market is that? Why does that even sit here? It's never going to take off, and how wrong could we have been? Yeah.
And how's it been for you? Started busy, or?
Good. Yeah, since January, I think people got a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, didn't they?
Yes.
So it's gone crazy. It's gone absolutely mad. So it's going to be another very hectic season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Busy. Almost crazy to say it, but I think we're going to be busier than we were last year. So
I mean, I've always done my numbers on stock level all the way through, but Marquis, when we had a look at in mid-January, they're on 134 in group stock, down to 85 across 13 branches. Spinney, 29 in stock between 3 branches. Wellsbridge, 31, and so on. It's just
still a big shortage, and that's just going to get.
We haven't even started the season yet, really.
No, it's only going to get worse now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little Bailey discoveries, yeah, good. The newer ones, great little first time van, basically. We've got scrolling below as well. The Coachmen have been taken over by Cabe. I'd never really heard of Cabe, but they've got a foothold now into the UK market with Coachman caravans. 15.71 million, is it, their takeover? It's worth. Scary.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. So that will be interesting to see. Coachmen, I think, were progressing anyway, but that'll be interesting to see how that goes forward.
I've got some diary dates for you, lads.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
So, tomorrow is a very important date.
Is it?
Yeah. We can meet up outdoors. 6 people. There you go. It's all there. The rule of 6, 2 households, outdoors, households only. We can also have sporting facilities, outdoor sports and leisure facilities.
Do you know what is a little bit mad about that is that you're still allowed to go into people's houses to go to the toilet, to make yourself a drink. I don't know whether... Should we be at that point?
We'll soon find out tomorrow, won't we? Right, we've also got the National Camping Show as well at Stoneleigh. Now, the National Camping Show, 20th to the 23rd of May at Stoneleigh Park. It's free admission, but you must book online first of all.
And as far as we know, these are going ahead, aren't they?
As far as we know, yeah. And I've got some more dates for you as well. We've got the Yorkshire Motorhome at 28th to the 30th of May, the National Motorhome and Caravan at 11th to 30th of June, and the Midsummer Motorhome and Caravan 25th to the 27th of June at Stoneleigh Park. So we'll do the other ones as the months go along, but them the more recent ones, matey.
And these are all the Warner shows, aren't they?
Yes, that's it, the Warner ones.
Light at the end of the tunnel, isn't it, that?
Yeah. Right. Is that the news?
Yes. We'll go next, Jason.
What we got next? Right, I'll see you in a bit, Mark.
See you in a bit.
So, you know when you go out in your motorhome,
Yes.
what's the most important thing you like to do?
Well,
Well, not important. What things do you like to do?
it's some sort of intake, whether it's alcohol or food, but they normally come twinned.
I've got a surprise for you tonight. I'm going to cook for every one of you tonight.
Cook.
Cook, whatever you want to do. Big hello to Tread the Globe as well. Our friends.
What are you going to cook for us?
I've got a helper. This is the person who I've got.
Hey, I'm Jane Sarche. I'm a recipe developer and food writer, and over on my YouTube channel, I geek right out about all things camp cooking related, bringing you a brand new video every single Friday.
So nice to get out and to have this place to ourselves.
So if you want to up your camp cooking skills this year, be sure to come say hi, subscribe to the channel, and if you join my mailing list, you'll bag yourself a fun little freebie. I'll see you there.
Hello.
Well, hello. I'm a kook, apparently. I've never been called a kook before.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. Nice to meet you, fellas. How you doing?
Jake, tell us a bit about us. Well, we know about you. Just tell everybody about yourself.
Howdy, everyone. I write recipes for a living. I've got a food blog that's been going forever, 13 years, I think. It's just had its 13th birthday. And I do YouTube videos and I cook in my Volkswagen camper van. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not up there with your motorhomes. and your caravans. But we've actually, between my partner and I, we've got 3 Volkswagens. So,
Wow.
but yes, so I make easy one-pot meals for camping fiends.
And you've just done a Amazon Prime series, haven't you?
I have. Yes, it sounds nuts, doesn't it? I'm a little country bumpkin down in Cornwall. I can't quite believe it. I met a producer a couple of years ago, and he heard Cornwall, camper van, and YouTube, and we kind of ended up making a TV show. So it's me and Myrtle, my camper van, bombing around Cornwall, picking up good food, and then cooking it in the van or over an open fire.
I'm good to you, Shane, aren't I?
You are very good. This is probably my favourite episode already. We haven't even seen the food yet.
See. So, how did you start your YouTube up? How did that come around?
So originally, when I started the food blog, 2008, kind of the internet was very, very different then, wasn't it? Roll forward probably 5-6 years, photography was becoming more important. So I retrained as a photographer. And then obviously we're now in the world of video being so important. So that's when I set my channel up. And it's, it's kind of awkward getting in front of a camera to start with, isn't it?
Tash is asking, what's your TV series called?
It's called The Hedgecombers, Tash. So my website is called The Hedgecombers, and it's, as is the TV show.
Right. Do you do all the foraging and everything?
Yes. Not just foraging. In the TV show, it's mostly about promoting Cornwall, if I'm honest. So it's me going to local food producers, getting their produce, and then taking it home and cooking it either in the van or in the farmhouse. So
tonight we're actually going to feed all 3 of them tonight, aren't we?
We are. They're very lucky boys.
Aren't they? We're going to give them breakfast. We're going to give them lunch or dinner, and we're going to give them tea, aren't we?
We are indeed.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah. So, Shade, you're going to be first. We're going to give you breakfast.
Okay.
And what have we got there, Jade?
Well, Jason, why don't you tell us what it's called?
No.
That's no fun.
I don't know.
Jane, I'm cooking you a pizza quesadilla. This one's ready in like 4 or 5 minutes. So easy and really tasty.
You can do this in any caravan, camper van, motorhome, anywhere when you're on the road, can't you?
Yeah, dead easy.
Roll the tea, John.
Cheers, Shane. So for breakfast, you guys have requested a pizza quesadilla. Now, this one literally takes 5 minutes to make, and each pizza can be personalized to each person, so everyone is going to be happy. So start by slicing up your favorite pizza veggies, meats, cheeses, all the toppings. Then spread a wheat tortilla with some kind of sauce. Now, obviously, you can use pizza sauce, but then you're going to be left with half a jar of the stuff to use up. Tomato puree is great, and then you can just keep the rest of the tube in your fridge or cooler and it will last for ages. But I'm actually using a spicy andouja. This is an Italian spreadable hot salami. Now it does contain pork, so it's no good for the veggies, and it is fiery, so you have been warned. This one from Waitrose is the only one I've ever seen on the supermarket shelves as opposed to in the fridge. So it's a great shelf-stable jar you can just pop in the back of your kitchen cupboard for when the mood strikes. Now, not only is andouja great in pizzas, it's also delicious if it's stirred through a tomato-based sauce, or sometimes I've been known just to spread it on hot buttered toast. It is so good. Anyway, back to the pizza. Then pile up your meats and veggies and cheeses just as you would when you're making a regular pizza. A sprinkle of dried oregano and some chili flakes at this point always works well too. Then preheat a large frying pan or a flat griddle pan and lay your pizza out on it and top it with the second tortilla. Let it cook for a minute or two, and when the underneath of the quesadilla is golden and crispy, then flip it over and repeat on the second side. Now, whilst today we're sharing this as a breakfast food, I actually recorded this video for my grumpy builder one lunchtime when he was at work. And I tell you what, guys, I scored massive brownie points for this one.
Hey, Grumpy, what do you think of that?
I'm going to be honest, that does look really nice as well. I've got one question. Induja.
Induja.
Tell me a bit more.
It's delicious. Really? Do you like hot food?
Oh, yes.
Oh, mate, you love it. So normally you get it in delis in the chiller department. But the reason that I was geeking out, because Jason was horrified that I shop at Waitrose, but I shop at any supermarket.
You don't have Waitrose in that area of the country.
Well, up north.
Yeah. No, just Stoke.
Just don't. It's really delicious. So it's like salami. It's like eating salami, but it's a paste.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's beautiful. Definitely keep an eye out for it.
Never heard of it, but it's written down. But yeah, that is dead easy. Even
it is.
The worst of cooks could do that, really.
Exactly. And the nice thing is that you can just cut up all the toppings, and then people can just pile on to their pizza what they want, which is nice and easy.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be breakfast either. It can be literally any time of the day.
Exactly.
Breakfast, dinner, and tea. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whichever one.
Done you proud there, Shane, haven't we?
Yeah, I've been very proud. Yeah.
Yeah. See, there we go. So, Jane, are you going to bring us some more meals a bit later?
Oh, I might do.
We'll see you in a minute then.
See you in a bit.
Right, Shane, I think it's time for a campsite, don't you?
Yes.
You picked a good campsite there, haven't you?
Amazing is that? Looks superb, beautiful. Yeah, really enjoyed looking at all the videos and stuff and the photographs. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it looks a good place.
I think we've just seen the future.
Yeah, definitely.
It's your stay. What else can you tell us about it?
Well, I can tell you a bit, but I know a guy who can tell you more.
Hello there.
It worked!
It worked perfectly.
How you doing?
Not too bad yourselves.
Really good, thank you. How have you found it through lockdown?
Oh, it's been hard, but it's been hard for everybody. So we can't grumble any more than anybody else, really. It's hard. 8 months of being closed now, and we just want to get open. We just want to start seeing people here again and start the next stage of the campsite.
Absolutely. Have you made any changes whilst you've had this time on your hands?
Yeah. So we've done a completely new area out the back of reception because I think we can safely say because of COVID, we're going to be outside for a lot longer yet. It doesn't matter about the jabs. Well done for having your jab today. I think
all
we've
of
probably
it.
got two.
Some of us still in their 40s.
But yeah, so because I think we got 3 years minimum of still being outside an awful lot and everything. So we've put a massive outdoor area, which is undercovered, patio heaters out there. And we're actually doing the front as we're speaking at the moment. So tomorrow we're doing some more work at the front of it. So we just have not stopped really.
Guy, can I just cut in there? I think that's a smart move, actually. You've actually realised probably for the next year and a half, what you've just said there is quite a point about not being inside, everything's got to be outside. I think that's a great move, what you've done there, matey.
You know what? You've got to think ahead at the moment because I think anywhere, we're proving at the moment when we're allowed to open, we're not allowed to have the showers open. We're not allowed to have loos open. But ironically, as you said, you can go to someone's house, you can go to a pub, you can do those sorts of things and use their loos. But we're not allowed to open ours. I mean, in the paperwork, it said, well, we could open them if we were prepared to wash them in between every single body going in, monitor who was going in and out. That's just completely unfeasible.
Yeah.
Have you had any details from the government about when possibly they're going to open the showers and things? Have you got any information about it or nothing?
It's a roadmap. So, at this moment, the dates are I think it's the 17th of May. But that is still the roadmap. Things could change with what's going on in Europe. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually goes a bit longer. And I suppose the trouble is, we're really busy anyway. So we've got people coming in and out, but people have got to be able to use their own facilities. So unfortunately, it's a bit horrible for people who've got these T7s, etc. The VWs, the small ones without the loos and showers in it, because actually there's nowhere they can go at the moment.
Yeah.
But it is good that you're putting the time and to get everything right now, because just imagine when it does open up and trying to do improvements and stuff like that, then it's just going to be near impossible, isn't it?
It is. It's such a hard one throughout this whole lockdown. Yet again, we have not stopped investing. Through the lockdown, we've kept all of our staff on here. So every one of our staff has still been employed. So whether they used to do one job or another job, they're doing whatever jobs need doing. And it's like when we do the front area out laying the resin, there'll be 6 of us doing it. We learnt to do it out the back by ourselves. We'll be doing it out the front as well. So we've tried to keep everybody doing something. It's not everybody's forte. And I'm sure people, when they go out there, if they lie on the floor, might see an old ripple or something. But it's great. We all did it in-house. We used everybody here to do it.
Brilliant. Did you find, because obviously you were featured in the £1 Million Motorhome show. Did you find you had a lot of business from it? That was amazing. We watched that. I was like, we've got to stop there.
All these celebrities on here tonight.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That was a really funny one, actually, because I think we had that come out on television, and I think it was about 24 hours later where the roadmap was released as well. So we had that come out on television. 24 hours later, then the roadmap was open of when these dates were going to go on. I think in the first half an hour of being live on the Channel 5 things, we had over 10,000 hits on our website in the first half an hour. So much so that, in fact, we had to up the website 3 times in its capability of what it could do it. In the end, there was us in the background going, still working. Oh, it's going a bit funny. Up it again. Still working. It was madness. But absolutely great. The only disadvantage of it, obviously, is people who have seen us and our regular customers They've lost out a little bit because unless they, I mean, we did tell everybody in advance to be a little bit organised, but I don't think people realise quite what an impact it would have on us. And so unfortunately, a lot of the regulars can't get in again this season. But because we run our booking system 24 months in advance, which I'm not sure any other campsite does, we've got people already booking for next year. So people are already booking the 22s, etc. So, you know, that's just, it's this year. Until November, most of the weekends are now gone.
Yeah. Do you take it like if people book with you, do they have to leave a deposit, or is it again just details and that's it?
Yeah, no. So what we do is it does. I'm going to say the deposit varies from 15 to 30%. So 15 is what we class as more standard pitches. 30% are the Emperor pitches, stroke the safari lodges. But that is refundable up to 30 days before. So even though they're putting the money down now, through COVID, our customers were fantastic during the first wave because, you know, we sent out a letter saying, look, it would make our life a lot easier if you don't ask for a refund and allow us to defer it. But if you want a refund, of course we will do. And I've got to say, we had 95% of our customers which were immediately like, no, don't worry, look, we'll move it to there. We had a few customers which even turned around and said, well, I haven't booked yet with you, but do you want me to take some money off you? Yeah, to see you through the lockdown, and we'll book it in after. I'm like, no, this is lovely, thank you very much, but we don't need to do that. But we have some fantastic
Guy. That's why I love to be British.
Yes, it is. No, you're totally right. As you were saying earlier, it is. We you know, 90. I'm going to say 99% of our customers are fantastic. You know, and as I said, you know, it is a typical British thing of looking after each other. And trying to get on because, you know, people want to get away anyway. People want a holiday anyway. It's not the point of that. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Definitely. And I hear you've got a good pub nearby as well.
Which one do I start with? You know, yeah, okay, well, I'll tell you what, that's a bit of a queue, isn't it? So, yeah, the Richmond Arms. Richmond Arms.
Did you actually see, on the one show on Thursday night? They're on the one
Rebellion. Yeah, it was a Pizza Rebellion, and I've been up there and tried it. They've got the machine there just, I think, for about another 5 weeks as they're prototyping it before they open as such. So they're prototyping it there before it goes off. But yeah, anyway, so the Richmond Arms, that is, you can walk across the fields. We've got a footpath which goes across some fields and comes straight out of the Richmond Arms. So that's our local one. That's a 10-minute walk. That's in Waitro's top 50 pubs, and I think it was number 12 in the Good Food Guide. Only last year, the year before. Absolutely brilliant. Slightly quirky menu, but it is lovely. It is lovely, but it is a lovely meal pub. Not meal pub, dining pub. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes walk and then a 20-minute stagger home in the fields.
Even
brilliant.
Yes, Michelle. Yes.
Is that the only pub you've got for me? There's plenty of other pubs, but yeah, that's the most local one anyway, so that's fantastic.
Brilliant. I'll tread the globe that they've sold, they're coming.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, we've got other ones, and because we're right on the South Downs as well, within a 2-mile walk, there's another 4 pubs from us, and then you've got the South Downs if you want to go the north direction. You want to start going south direction, you have to get another 2 miles. You've got about 3-4 pubs near us, and you're right on this coast. You're right by Bosom Harbour, which is the most beautiful harbour ever. You know, look at that. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
amazing.
Yeah. We're definitely paying you a visit, whether you like it or not. We're
coming. That's right. But just when you go to Bosom,
yes.
So,
when you go to Bosom,
can I just cut in here?
Go on.
Because you did commit yourself here, didn't you, the other day? You did say that later in the year, all of us could do the show live from Concierge Camping, and we're also inviting Next Stop Everywhere, Tread the Globe, Life Beyond Bricks, and everybody else, and we're going to do a live show at Concierge.
Yeah, I said you could do that. That's fine. I thought it was actually quite cheeky to send me a drink in the post to get me drunk before I even said that. But yeah. Yeah, but no, yeah, I said you could do that. So that's no problem at all. No problem at all. I think it'd be quite nice. You can go in the new Outback area.
Yeah, and friends.
Yes.
What's your capacity, Guy?
Fun.
What's your capacity?
Do you know what? We are a small campsite. This is what makes us a little bit different. We've done a few expansions over the time, but we have never tried to go too big. We don't want to be big. I think, at the moment we're running at 27 pitches. The target is possibly get to about 35 just to get the numbers right. But that's in time to come. But yeah, so we've only got 27 pitches. It is a small, close, we don't have the late bars here. We've got an outside area where the bar, and dare I say, if we're busy, we'll stay open a bit late, but we don't do the 10 o'clock. We don't do all that sort of stuff. It's just a very relaxed campsite. It's that kind of like way inclined. And obviously now at the week.
Until we all come.
Yeah.
Well, you come up, Shane, with your bottle of water. What's that all about?
I've got my mate Jap next to me.
Later.
I think the key, Guy. I think the key is keeping it small, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah. You go to somebody. I mean, I cannot knock the larger campsites. They serve a fantastic purpose. It is brilliant, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. It's like when we started the Concierge camping brand principle. It was quite a funny one. It was about taking what my wife and I loved in campsites that we'd been to, whether it been in Europe, whether it been in England, and trying to amalgamate it into this principle. And as soon as you start going to the big campsites, you start losing the personal touches. You start losing that side of stuff. So keeping it small is still really important, but unfortunately, keeping it small is not so economically viable. So you are a little bit more expensive. So you try to do things a little bit different, because one of our pitches out there, our smallest pitch, you could fit 2.5 caravans on if you were at a camping caravan site. So, the pitch for that price for that pitch is a little bit more. It's got to be, because just the economics, you're having a pitch which is massive for one caravan with space.
Yeah. I don't think people mind paying that, though. I know we prefer having the quieter sites. It's more personal service from yourself. We get to know you on a name-to-name term, and it's just the service, isn't it? It's lovely. Then the really huge, great big sites. So yeah, it sounds beautiful.
And totally, the idea of the word concierge was the idea that if we can do it, we will do it the same as at a hotel. If you want a taxi to the moon, if I can book it, I'll get it for you. That's not a problem. That's the idea. I can't understand why some campsites aren't more helpful. That's tactful, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll have to get Jane to do some meals for us as well. Sorted.
So Guy, you have got other things planned, haven't you, on the campsite, and you've got to keep coming on to let us know what you're getting up to.
I will give you updates. Yeah, we've got some stuff going on in the background at the moment. When it comes to fruition or not, I don't know. It does depend a little bit with what goes on with the climate at the moment. If we're closed down again in 6 months' time, or what we are. So So let's wait and find out on that one.
Okay. So Guy from Concierge Camping, Extreme Motorhome Adventures, you've done it again for us. Well, you've done it the first time for us. Well, whatever.
Well, thank you.
Guy, you're going to keep in touch. Guy, you're going to keep in touch with us and let us know what's going on. And we're going to rock up and do the show at Concierge Camping, Shane, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can't wait.
We'll see you all in a bit.
I can wait.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
I'll tell you what, Jason, I'm ready for a second course.
Are you ready for some food?
I'm ready. I'm getting hungry again.
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to lunch, there's only one person I can think about who likes to eat. Oh, he's there.
Go on, carry on.
Hey, Emily.
Hiya, mate.
You all right?
Yeah, you.
So, we'll get your questions in, technical questions in for Lee, but we need to feed him. Look, he's looking a bit like...
looking famished, the poor boy.
He isn't he? What have you got for us, Jane? What we're going to feed him?
Oh, I've forgotten. Hang on, let me look at my list. What are you having for lunch? I can't remember.
Well, Jason tempted me on saying I was getting some bangers.
Sausage.
Oh, is it the sausage? I can't read this writing so small. Sausage, peppers, and onions, wasn't it, Jason?
Yeah, your bangers.
Cheers, chap. Now I'm going to cook lunch on a campfire just because I can. And don't worry, this meal is so damn tasty that whilst you will miss out on that wonderful vibe of wood smoke if you cook it in your van, I promise it's still going to taste delicious. In a large skillet, heat some oil and get those sausages a-cooking. Add in the onion and the peppers and fry them off too. And then you want to peel and chop some fresh garlic. Now, I'm lucky enough down here in Cornwall to still have access to a fantastic local butcher. But honestly, I wouldn't touch probably 99% of the sausages out there with a barge pole. So if I was away on a trip and I couldn't find a decent butcher or top quality bangers, then I'm actually going to prefer to buy vegetarian sausages. Now, sadly, not all veggie sausages are created equally either. There are some bad ones out there, but there is a brand here in the UK called Cauldron, and I really rate their veggie sausages. They're excellent. Next, add in some dried oregano, a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree, and a really good slosh of red wine. Now, don't be cheap at this point, people. I'm saying a really good slosh. The garlic also gets chucked in at this point, and then the whole lot gets stir-fried together until those sausages are cooked right the way through and they're golden brown on the outside, and the veggies are soft and delicious. Keep the whole batch bubbling gently until that puddle of red wine has reduced into a delicious, slightly sticky sauce. Then serve and enjoy. Now, if you're feeding a crowd, this can be really quite an economical meal. Just add in perhaps a couple more peppers, maybe another onion. And then the key is if you chop those sausages up into bite-sized pieces, it's going to make the whole thing go way, way further. And whilst it can be served as is, if you were to do a side of rice or pasta or even freshly baked baguette, it's going to really stretch this meal out to feed a lot.
That's not enough for the lead, is it?
I love bangers, me. I like sausages as well.
I'm actually rumbling here, not even joking, I'm rumbling.
Jane, just going into the video there, what was a lot of negativity there about sausages? Just explain to us, please.
Okay, so I'm going to go on a little rant here, but I'll try and rein it in, boys. So pigs and chickens, poultry, are two of the most abused animals in our food chain. So this is one of my personal fights in the TV show and on my blog and on YouTube. I am always promoting ethical meat, which is contradictory. There's a lot of vegans that shout at me for even trying to eat meat, but I'm a farmer's daughter at the end of the day. I still live on a little farm in Cornwall, and buying meat that I know has had a happy life is incredibly important to me. So I'm not going to buy anything that doesn't at the very least say free range on it. Organic is the absolute best standard for animal welfare in the UK.
I think that's very fair, to be fair. I mean, I'd absolutely love my meat, but I appreciate that I'd like them to have a happy life before.
Yeah. And we, growing up as a kid, I'd be out there feeding the pigs, and then a couple of months later, I'd be helping my dad end their days. So I'm very aware of the whole life cycle of a farm animal that's in our meat chain. And it's, they've got personalities. They're sentient beings. They feel pain. They feel pleasure. They like having the sun on their back, and they love rootling through the dirt to find the bugs and stuff. And, a pig that spends its entire life on concrete in a little cage, that's no life. So that's one of my rants.
Now you want to make me feel like I feel about being vegetarian now.
Yeah.
You like
harder than that for me.
Poor old Daisy the pig.
Just buy organic, Daisy. If you're going to eat meat, please just get the organic stuff or free range.
Anyway, Lee, what do you think of your meal?
Nice. Looks good, that. I do love
and you left
sausage.
half a bottle of red wine, Lee, that you've got to drink as well. Sorry,
yeah, well,
mate.
the best of it is my wife doesn't like alcohol in the food, so more for me.
What sort of red wine would you go for in something like that?
Oh God,
Red
don't
wine.
ask me. I don't drink red wine personally. Lee, what would you use?
Don't know. I don't drink wine. I don't like wine.
Does anyone drink wine? Jason?
I like.
Obviously, 12%. I aren't bothered.
I like Peter, who works for me tomorrow. He's a wine freak. He'll give me a good
I
idea.
love it. What are we like? I'm sat here with a glass of water, so there's no point
Yeah,
asking me.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, vodka.
I'm
All right.
driving in the morning, so I don't drink.
Jason, what have you had before the show
What do you mean, what have I had?
for a drink?
I had ginger beer
And
and a glass of wine.
And a can of Stella.
And I also had a glass of wine with Tread the Globe, a nice Shiraz.
and another glass of wine with somebody else.
Well,
That's a
you know
bottle.
how it goes. You know how it goes. After, so, have we got any questions for Lee? Now he's been fed. John?
John.
Today?
John.
He's fell asleep.
Oh my God.
Hey, John.
Come on, John.
By the way, it's not caravan shorts anymore. It's camping shorts.
It is camping shorts. Hi, everyone.
He's now getting into the tenting lark.
I am indeed. Yeah. So it's it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. Especially when it warms up a little bit.
You're not invited to Concierge, though.
Right. I'm going to go because I've now lined up the questions for Lee.
At least we're organised with this show. Do you remember how organised he said he was at the start?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's not as if we don't practice it.
I know.
Right. Keith Manick asks, should gas lockers be lined?
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. Especially, obviously, coach-built stuff, caravans, motorhomes, they're all proper gas lockers. When you get van conversions, they should be put in a metal-lined locker, 50mm lip at the bottom, and have a suitable size drop vent in it for allowing the gas to escape.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
What do you line it with? Because we've just bought one on Jason's recommendation because I haven't got one in my van. What do you line the metal box with?
You can actually buy specific gas locker containers.
Right.
But I mean, it needs to be metal lined.
Okay.
And there's no particular type of metal really, but it wants to be
One that
metal
doesn't
lined.
leak.
Yeah. I just spent 80 quid on one. It was the most uninteresting 80 quid I've ever spent.
Just call it Daisy. On underslung gas tanks on PVC's Doom seems to be less and less pumps to fill up yet. A lot of the new vans seem to have them fitted. Paul Harris.
Oh, what? Sorry, you're underslung.
I think that the gas, the LPG gas at the fuel pump.
Yeah, I must admit, a lot of people speak to me about underslung gas tanks with fillable gas bottles, and the big question everyone asks is, where the flaming hell can I get it filled up? And yeah, it's finding somewhere that does it. I know 3 places that were around here that no longer do them anymore. So yeah, it's
I can't
not
think
really.
There's a couple of the big brands that they were actually getting rid of the LPG refillable pumps to replace them basically with electric pumps.
Yeah, that's probably the way it's going to go.
But there'll still be places around there that do them, I'm sure.
I mean, the gas thing never really took off like it was expected to, did it? When they were talking vehicle conversion side. No.
It was the outlay and everything like that for it. But yeah. There's still places that do it. You just tend to have to travel a little bit further.
Yeah.
What's the difference between butane and propane? Shane?
one's in a blue bottle, one's in a red bottle.
That's it. Yeah. Butane is fine for using through the summer. It's got a higher freezing point. That'll freeze at about -2. So once you get into the winter or early time of the year, then butane's not going to work for you. So then you want to go on to propane, which has got a freezing point of -42. So I only use propane because you can use it all year round. So there's no point in, especially with modern vans, because you've got to have different pigtails. So
I can't say I've really seen many butane bottles at all.
It's surprising how many vans I service that do still have them.
Really?
Yeah.
Lee, I think propane's a better gas.
It's a dirtier gas.
Well, yeah, well, I think it's a better gas than butane.
It's a dirty gas. A lot of regulator blockages that I get. Regulator blockages I get. They're butane users.
Sorry, Jane. You going to ask something?
I can't see a question.
You put your hand up.
Oh no, we're butane. 3 vans, butane. Sorry.
I think butane is more on camper vans, Lee, isn't it?
Yeah. Tends to be camping gas stuff and that. It's like a mix, isn't it? Same as the stuff you get refillable. That's quite mixed.
Why is my motorhome tripping the house fuses?
If you've still got fuses in your house, then you've got an old house. You should be on MCBs and an RCD, really. It depends what it's tripping. If it's tripping an MCB, then something's overloading it. If it's tripping the RCD, then you've got a fault on something, whether it be your hookup lead or something within the van. Best bet will be to switch everything off, plug it in, and then start from scratch. Your charger, your fridge, and so on and so forth.
How many people can I carry in my 6-berth motorhome?
How many people can you get in a Mini?
How many seatbelts has that 6-berth motorhome got?
It's a dodgy question, that though, isn't it? You think pre-2000?
It's quite a good question, actually.
It is, because you think pre-2007, it wasn't actually illegal to carry 6 people in that motorhome if they weren't belted in. There's the is it the right thing to do question, but legally, pre-2007, you can carry 6 people in that motorhome without the seatbelts.
I think my answer to that would be how many seatbelts has it got?
That's right. My motorhome's pre-2007. We've only got the 2 belted seats, and I haven't had my haircut.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah. I have to put up with this all the time. Honestly. I don't know what comb over Kermit up there's laughing at.
Don't bring me into it, buddy.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, I was all composed.
Is it worth changing roller team 743 over to LPG? I wouldn't say so, really. No, that's it. I'm going now. I've been insulted enough for tonight. Who put that? What was his name? Phil Punt. Right.
Right, he's banned. But I'll ban him for you, please.
Chuck him off.
Leave
Chuck him off.
to me. More, Phil. More comments. So don't forget to subscribe to Jane's channel. We'll see you in a bit, Lee.
All right.
And now this is when it all goes pear-shaped.
Well, we've got the campsite, we've got the cook, so we just need a good caravan now, don't we? With a good kitchen to cook in.
Oh. Let's have a look then.
What more can I say? So we're going to be cooking inside the caravan. One of the big things we're going to need is a decent kitchen area. So we've got an Adria Stella. It's a 2013, and this is the Amazon model. So we'll have a look inside in a second. Outside, we've got an external barbecue point. So if we want to use a barbecue, etc., we're all set up for that. Let's have a look inside and see what our kitchen area is like. So inside of our Adria Stella Amazon, we've got a huge kitchen area at the front here. So it's a bit higgledy-piggledy, this layout. You don't see many with a kitchen area over the front of the caravan. So it's just a completely different layout. But what this gives you is a huge kitchen area. Plenty of workspace, plenty of room to manoeuvre. So people can still get in and out of the caravan. You've still got all the preparation work area that you're ever going to need. An abundance of storage up and below. Nicely positioned microwave in this one. So again, we're not reaching up with hot plates coming out, etc. Nice and easy. We've got our 3-way fridge, and obviously our cooker, hob, and our 3 burners on the side there. We've got storage, let's say, all the way down the side here underneath, and then we've got a big like a pantry basically just down the side there. So again, all the food and cooking implements that you could ever require, we've got the storage for it. As we move further towards the back of the caravan now, we've got a huge seating area. So if you're in the kitchen cooking away and you're entertaining, there's a huge amount of space here for people to sit round, lounge around during the day, etc. And then going towards the back of the caravan, and then towards the back we've got 2 fixed single beds. Now these aren't just normal single beds. Let's have a look at what we can actually do with these. So we can, if we get it right, I promise you it does work. We can actually pop it up slightly and change the sleeping position on both sides. This one, hopefully I've mastered the technique this time and it's a little bit easier. So if you're reading a book in bed, etc., or you're watching the TV, an excellent little feature. You don't see that in many caravans, probably a little bit more in motorhomes, etc. But what a cracking idea, and why isn't everybody doing that on the fixed single beds? And why not do it on double beds as well? It's a great idea. At the back then, we've got our separate shower and toilet. So, what an absolute fantastic layout if you're thinking about cooking, etc. Huge amounts of space, an absolute fantastic layout, and again, really high spec as well. So we've got the Alba central heating, we've got all the little lights, we've got the skylight over the front area here, and so again, it's really well equipped as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed our take on our cooking caravan. Bit different, that.
Jane?
Wow. It was huge.
Why don't we see more of the German-built caravans over here?
I don't know.
Because I prefer
honestly don't know.
so much more. They're actually a lot more usable than...
Build quality is better.
And that kitchen's brilliant, especially with the pantry next to it.
Yeah, that pantry is fab.
Yeah.
Shame. As somebody who buys motorhomes all the time, that caravan's blown me away.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's a motorhome layout, really, isn't it?
That has no feel whatsoever as a caravan. That is stunning.
Yeah, even the single beds where they pop up eventually, you don't see many like that. It's again, that's a motorhome thing.
That's a stunning family with the woodwork above as well.
Yeah, and again, all the lighting. It's a shame because I'd literally just brought that back into it. It hadn't been cleaned or anything, so it was a little bit dirty, which you might or might not have picked up on. But that cleaned up will be an absolute stunning van, and that's 2013. So we're sort of
really wow.
Yeah.
Do they tend to be a bit heavier or?
Yeah, 1,800 kilos that is on a single axle, and 26 feet overall. So that's a big single axle van.
What type of money is that, Mark?
We've just putting that on at 15.5. So a lot of van for the money. Yeah,
that's a
lot of van for the money.
Yeah. Jane, what's your thoughts with the kitchen then?
Yes, please. Johnny, my fella's watching this. Johnny, can you please put that in our new camper van? Thank you.
Don't bother with the camper van, just get a caravan. I've sorted it for you.
You just need a tow bar.
It's possibly a little bit out of our price range.
Sell one of the VWs, you'll be fine.
Yeah, to be honest, they're going up in value quite quickly right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's like you've got the kitchen there, and even the lounge area.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do that with leather seating as well. In the leather, it looks an absolute treat. It really does. Very nice.
I tell you what, Mark, you've knocked that out of the park, mate.
Well, look, I've got another video with a different kitchen, and then I'd price that up, and I'd said to you in the week, I'm not going to get the van done because I'm picking this other one up, and it's worth waiting for. And I think it really, really was.
Do you know what? I think he deserves some supper.
I do.
I think so too.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a little bit of room for more.
Yeah. Well, what shall we give him, Jane?
Oh, I've remembered this one. Bombay potatoes. How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds cracking.
They're real good.
Alrighty, now everyone loves Bombay potatoes, so please don't wait until lockdown lifts and we're actually allowed to go out to play again before you try this recipe, because it is so good. Now this is another tinned potato special, but feel free to use leftover boiled potatoes if you prefer. Dry off each potato with some kitchen paper and pop them into a small bowl. Add in some salt, paprika and garam masala and give them a good stir. Then heat some oil in a pan and add cumin seeds and mustard seeds. And then tip in the sliced onion. Now, just to prove that I am such a professional, this is me fighting with what I thought was the wind, but turned out to be an empty gas bottle. Seriously, you'd think I'd know by now. Next, to tip in some chopped fresh tomatoes. I have tried doing Bombay potatoes with tinned tomatoes and it's nowhere near as good, so definitely go fresh if you can. Give it all a good stir, then tip your spiced potatoes into the pan, coating them in all those yummy flavours. Now at this point you want to throw in lots of fresh chopped coriander. If you're one of the people that thinks coriander tastes like soap, then honestly my heart breaks for you, because the freshness that coriander brings to this dish is, I mean honestly, it's unbeatable. And I can't think of another herb that would do what coriander does to these potatoes. Now, we mostly eat Bombay potatoes on its own as a full meal, but obviously you can serve it as a side dish to a curry or perhaps to steaks cooked on the barbecue. Oh, and leftover Bombay potatoes for breakfast the next day? Oh, yes.
I thought you was going to squash my spuds then.
I love coriander.
You do?
Coriander's great, isn't it?
Oh, so good. Some people, it's a biological thing,
I know.
apparently. Some people, it tastes like soap. Can you imagine?
Would anybody think of having tinned potatoes?
No.
I wouldn't have thought, yeah. Do you know what I've liked with all of your recipes? Sometimes cooks will give you a recipe and you're going, what on earth is that? I've never even heard of that. And then you're shopping around and trying to find 5,000 ingredients that you're never going to find.
Like
yours,
Indonesia.
Like Indonesia.
Most of the recipes are just off the shelf things, aren't they? It's nice and easy. You've not got to go and Google search, except for Shane, and find out what it actually is.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. And on YouTube, I've done recipes with fancy names and fancy ingredients, but because nobody ever searches for them, those recipes flop. So I like.
Do you eat tinned potatoes, John?
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I didn't know you were going to bring me in on the show, though.
Potato.
When we were practicing, we go through, before the show goes out, we have a run through. And I said to Jane, I was like, oh my God, those potatoes, you should just eat them out of the tin. And she's like, what? Eat them cold out of the tin? They're amazing. They are absolutely amazing cold out of the tin. It's true.
Are they cooked then?
Oh, John.
Go on, sorry, carry on.
So they're pre-cooked, those potatoes.
Yeah, tinned potatoes. They come. I think they're in salted water. Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know much about them, but I figured that a lot of my audience use tinned food. So let's see.
Sorry, Shane, they don't do them in Marks and Spencer's.
They probably do. And it's probably exactly the same tin of potatoes that you get at Asda. But yeah, you just drain them out, and for that recipe, you just want to make sure that you pat each one dry, because if they go in wet, then it just make it really soggy and sloppy. But yeah, it tasted really good, really good.
I'd never think to buy much out of a tin, to be fair.
Yeah, well, when you've got a camper van or a motorhome or a caravan, just keeping grub in the back of a cupboard for, if you're going to stay an extra day or two on a site, or you break down, God forbid, it's just handy, isn't it?
Lee, what did you think of that caravan?
What caravan? I went to get my hat. I wasn't much of it.
Is that what you wore?
Typical.
Did you just pull that up a little bit, then cut around the edge of the hat?
That's what he used, isn't it? That's how he cut his hair.
Oh, listen to you with your something about Mary hairdo. What's that sticking it up at the front?
That's gel, that is.
Yeah, it is gel.
If you think his hair's bad now, you should have seen it on the
What
live
meal did you
film.
like here, Lee? How did both good?
Say again. What? Oh, it's gone.
I think we've lost Jason.
Oh, yes.
Is he gone? He's gone.
Brilliant.
Oh, he's back.
Oh.
He's back. Oh, no, he's not. Yes.
Oh, he's gone.
Yes, he's gone.
Lee, I think you look lovely, darling.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes, everyone's here bar Jason. Brilliant.
Jason's not paid the bill, has he?
No,
that's too much, isn't it?
COVID jab. He's gone.
Yeah, he's just fell off his chair.
We sort of do need him back because nobody else actually really knows what's going on there.
No
Now,
idea.
this is the part when it gets pear-shaped.
Free for all.
Free for all now. Any questions from anybody out there for Jane, Concierge, Extreme, Lee, Mark, Shane?
Are you, Jeff?
Oh, Shane, Phil Blunt's saying it's about time you open that bottle of Jack Daniels. I think so too. Come on now. Time's getting on.
If I wasn't working from the office, I would do.
Oh.
I'm going to drive home in a minute.
Here's a question for Guy. Guy.
Oh,
would you, how about would you not have them caravans on your pitches?
What do you mean?
The caravan Mark showed you.
What caravan was it?
Adria.
Do you know what we have such a mix of caravans? So I was actually going to say to Mark, I actually really like that caravan because I'm a motorhome person as well. And I have to say that caravan gave you a layout of the motorhome in a caravan. I think that was a really nice caravan. Yeah. Really like that. Not conventional.
Yeah. Jane, what was the pace call, please?
Nduja. D-U-J-A.
Written it down and everything.
I bet you haven't spelt it right, Shane.
Nduja.
Oh, okay, you have.
Guy,
So there's a question.
Making your own, like creating your own motorhome.
Yeah. So yeah, in the background, I'm making one at the moment. The trouble is, as you all know, you see caravans, you see motorhomes every day, and inherently that they just look the same. That no one's done anything different. So I'm building one which we're going to be doing later on as also a rental vehicle on site. So it's a bit of an expedition vehicle, something completely different. So later on, we're looking that will be a rentable vehicle on site that, we're set up with a daytime living tent off it as well, sleeping up to 4 people. Something quite different, which has got to run LPG, Lee. Sorry, Rover V8 inside it. It's got to run the Rover. It's got to run LPG to keep it going at a sensible rate. So I'm building an old, what's called a Land Rover 101 at the moment and converting it into a motorhome.
See, we'd love that. With our adventures, we'd love to go off-road. Katie won't do that. We're stuck.
Do you know, it's a hard one because I don't want to build an off-roader. Although it's capable, I'm calling it a soft-roader. It's a point that you can turn up on a field and not even worry about getting out of it. I'm not doing it to cross the Sahara Desert and that kind of scenario. It's the idea that you can turn up to a field, you can turn up anywhere, go out and enjoy the wilderness a little bit without being stupid and know you'll get back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the motorhome shame, isn't it? When you get towed out we actually got towed out with our motorhome, not by a tractor, by what was it?
Lawnmower.
A lawnmower.
I'll tell you what, a really good trick.
Wow.
Can I say a really good
What
trick
trick,
that not
yeah?
many people know for motorhomes is always carry snow chains with you.
Yeah.
Because if you get stuck, yeah, you can put snow chains on in the mud and it'll pull you out. It's a real trick that people don't know. Carry snow chains with you.
I've got to admit, there's something that I noticed the other day. I'm just going to see if I can get it on. This is Heimer's big approach to off-road camping, 4x4 Mercedes.
Wow.
They are 6 figures.
Do you know what? The only trouble is you'll rub your bum on them every time you go up or down NC. They've still got a big bum on them.
Yeah.
Won't it have rear suspension though, to lift it up a little bit as well? It's got to have everything on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the only ones I've seen for sale so far are about 115 grand for something that's like 6.5 meters.
I think they were more than that, if my memory's correct.
Hey, from Heimers, you can start at one price and end up in a different league.
Yeah.
You really can.
Right, are we done, folks?
No, just quickly. Neil said, right. Quickly, Rossi, yes, I agree. He's probably should have retired. Star Taylor, who do you fancy as Premier League champions? Not frigging Liverpool, that's who.
Hey, have you been watching Leicester City? They're doing all right, aren't they?
Who?
Oh, rude. Leicester City. Rude. Lee?
No, come on, let's go. I'll go on.
On that note, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you very much for Concierge Camping, for Jane, from Extreme Motorhome Adventures, from Mark, Lee, Shane, and myself, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to the Motorhome and Caravan Show YouTube channel.
Cheers, guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers, everyone.